Welcome to this episode of 5 Business Rules on Thinking Strategically. I'm Nicole.
I'm Monika.
And one of the things that we both do a lot for our clients is help them step out of the day-to-day type of stuff, because we all know that, especially as a small business owner, you are just trying to get through the day. And it can be hard to take out from your day-to-day tasks to think strategically, but if you don't, you're not going to grow your business.
Yeah, exactly. And this is one thing that really sets us apart from done for you marketing services. There's no strategy there, and generative AI like ChatGPT, they don't give you strategy.
No, they can fill in content for you, but that brings us straight into goal number 1. Good segue, Monika.
Thank you.
You can't have a strategy without goals, right? And
100%.
What are you trying to achieve? Now, most of us, we want to sell more, right? But when it comes to social media, sometimes that can be very hard to chase. And I use this as an example, but we'll put it to everything. Like, social media goals can be very different. Do you want engagement? Do you want to be an influencer? Do you want to send traffic back to your website and not really care about likes?
Yeah.
As an example, like, I speak at different things, and a lot of the conferences want to see a high like rate, right? Yeah. Where it's not necessarily going to bring me more revenue, but there is a goal to get engagement so I can get speaking gigs.
Yes.
So different goals, right? It's ultimately going to result in more revenue.
Yeah.
But how you go about that is going to be different. So you really need to understand your goals and think about it.
Yeah.
Okay? Number 2 is use those goals. It's one thing to like take out a few hours and do like strategic planning, but you have to bring those back into your world, because we work with different clients. We all have different ideas. You know, sometimes we can be squirrels chasing acorns and, have very different spans. But if you come up with a fantastic idea and you're like, oh, I should do this, and you spend hours on it, before you spend those hours, go back to your goals and say, does this fit in? If not, you put it on like an idea list to consider later, but you don't waste your time if it's not going to further your goals.
100%. You'll just end up going in a million different directions, and you will never be making progress on your goals.
Okay. Number 3, think about who is the best person to do the work. Now, notice I didn't say who can do the work. It is the best person to do the work. Now, some of these, Monika and I go through, and we do it ourselves too, right? Just because we can doesn't mean we should, right? And so that person may not be on your team. Like, just because you know how to create a WordPress website, if you have no artistic ability, and I'm a stick figure girl, so, doesn't mean you should. I build WordPress all day long, but I still have my designers do the design first, right? So that is not only on creating a best quality product, it also means, even though you might be an amazing designer, you need to spend your time on your business, right? Not doing that. And so this is get away from, oh my God, it's going to cost me $500. But are you going to lose $10,000 that you could be making in sales during the time that it's going to take you?
I always think, who can do it better and faster? And if it's not me, that's who's doing it, whatever it is.
So, number 4, you cannot please everybody, and you cannot listen to everybody. Here's an example. So I'm going to back in the early days of the marriage, right, before we had wonderful GPS, my husband and I were going on a trip, and he planned out directions from, remember MapQuest?
Oh my God, yes.
He had printed directions from Google Maps, and then I think we had a Garmin. And he was trying to follow all 3 of this at the same time. Do you know how lost we were? It was... I know this is a ridiculous example, but it comes back to the fact that even marketing experts are all going to have a different opinion. And so you need to find your one person that you're going to follow and that you're going to try their ideas, or your group of 2 to 3 trusted advisors. But you can't ask your mom and your sister and your best friend and your dog and everybody else, because by the time you please them all, you're going to come with this watered down, that doesn't actually, nobody likes it.
I would like to know what the dog has to say, though, about marketing strategy.
True.
So
dog's gonna be the dog that was the mayor of that town. That's probably
oh my
the
God,
best,
I know.
Happiest town ever.
For sure.
We digress. Okay, so number 5, pay attention to metrics, because the thing about goals, you have to know if you are achieving them and how to do this. And this is one thing that especially small business owners are struggle at because they have this great idea, or they sponsor an event, or they throw $500 behind a Facebook ad, but they never go back and say, did this actually move the needle? And so, but they're like, oh, well, I did that this one time, we should do it again.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you could keep spending $500 for like one click. Woo! Right?
Yeah, you need to know if the thing you're doing is working or not. You need to know what you're measuring. You need to do this all the way back at the beginning, right? When you're putting together your strategy, what are my goals, and then what are the metrics that I need to meet?
So, and those are two different things. No, like just looking at metrics to see, ooh, I got great likes, right? But again, what does that bring you back to? So if you need help thinking strategically, whether it's us, whether it's somebody else, but have somebody that can help you kind of step out of it, or give yourself a couple of hours to like get away from like a retreat of sorts to think about it. But then once you have your strategy, use it. So we hope this was helpful, give you a little better tips, and we will talk to you next time.
Bye.